Let's see. I don't think this is the AoE version.
No, it is.
Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nubraids. In today's video, we am going to show you my initial build, my initial impressions for Rathalos Blademaster, the new login legendary. And let's not bury the lead, right? He is absolutely insane. You're going to be, I think, very impressed by what this champion can do. I do need to apologize. I did say that I would actually wait until CVC tomorrow and our live stream tomorrow to build up this guy. But honestly, I had also just kind of noticing he's got, his armor is very tight to his bicep there. I thought, okay, never mind. Not important. But yeah, I was just up last night. I couldn't sleep. I had like a Coke, a Diet Coke with a takeaway because I burnt my bolognese by accident. So I had a Diet Coke for a takeaway because I didn't get out to the shop to get new stuff, and I couldn't sleep until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and couldn't sleep. So I said, hey, you know what? Let's build him up. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and get the video out today. We can play with him more tomorrow. Maybe lock in a proper Hydra team, a final Hydra team, I should say, for him tomorrow. We see. Anyway, what is going on with this guy? Actually, let me get you his multipliers as well. Okay, cool. So simple and straightforward enough. His A1, single target with decreased defense that cannot be resisted by bosses. His A2 is a single target hit the first time, but the second time in a round he uses it, it's an AoE that ignores 25% defense, which is great. If it's a boss, ignores 100% defense. We'll talk about that more in a second. There's a bit more to this than meets the eye initially, I think. And then overhead slash, he's got a 3-turn AoE that gives him a couple of buffs for 2 turns. And then, of course, his passive is where a ton of damage is going to come from. Makes building teams from a little bit tricky, but it really pays off. 50% more damage against targets under HP burn, and every 5th skill does 200% more damage. Now, his multipliers are like this. So his AoE is a 4.1, which is, just very slightly above average. His A2 is also a 4, and his A1 is even pretty close at 3.2. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, I was initially worried that you'd have to be really trying very hard to land the 200% more damage on the AoE 100% ignore defense. But actually, when it comes down to it, and I'll talk about his gear set here as well, just to mention, I did build him in lethal with that ignore defense. That's not doing anything on his A2 ever against bosses. I think it's a good set to test him out in, but I actually don't think he necessarily needs it. You could probably run him in other sets because the ignore defense, that is massive. For 100% ignore defense is huge in arena, where you're running into champions like, let's say, you'd be running into something like my Sifi, right? Who's going to be coming in with, 4,400 defense and increased defense, right? You're trying to kill that, or you're trying to kill my ultimate Death Knight, who's coming in with 5,000 defense. Those are the champions you're trying to fight, and you don't have a decreased defense. In Hydra, you are basically always going to have decreased defense, which makes the ignore defense not actually as important. So that's the big thing I kind of realized. Yes, it does the most damage, certainly, if you land that hit on the second use of the A2 for the AoE. That does the most damage, but every single skill is actually going to do really good damage with the 200% bonus, like really good. So you don't need to worry about it too much. In terms of his build, have him high attack, high speed, okay defenses. These are kind of squishy, to be honest, and 260% crit damage. So he's in very, very solid damage gear. That's with cruel and with lethal, and even 1 piece of protection over here. His best gear set is definitely merciless, but you probably don't have much merciless. But needless to say, that's the best, right? You're getting a bunch of attack percent, you're getting a huge chunk of crit damage, you're getting ignore defense, reducing his cooldown whenever he does damage, extra turn as well. Like, this is his best set, no question. But I'm actually strongly considering, I'm going to do more testing. We might do that tomorrow in CVC, actually. Switching him into reflex, I think could totally work, right? Because like I said, the lethal against bosses is not benefiting him anywhere on his A2, only his A1 and his A3. So I think reflex can be super, super good. One quirky thing as well we're going to see. Let's see him in action now. It does count as A1. And it does count counterattacks. It does count ally attacks. I need to show you his masteries, and then let's see him in some action. I'm going to show you to him in a few different areas. His masteries, I did put him into War Master. So I've masteried him like this. I thought Stoke to Fury would be quite good for Hydra, where, you know, let's say he's being boosted up by a Shamail, he could get poisoned if he's getting Terminator boosted, or if we're not running block debuffs, again, he could get lots of poisons in Hydra, and that's a lot of extra damage potentially. So I think that's probably the way to go. There's nothing else. I mean, deterrence could be okay. Again, every counterattack is going to be counting towards his 200% counter. And then his A1, we got him with, with all of his skills, I've given him War Master. Again, because Helm Smasher doesn't benefit his A2 against bosses. But I think you could run Helm Smasher to get just a bit more bang for your buck out of, especially his A3. When his A3 gets a 200% more damage, yeah, he's going to smack. First, for fun, let's throw him in to Faction Crypts. So here we go, and let's count his skills, right? Are you ready to count his skills? Let's go. He's up against Rhonda here, so let's see how he compares against Rhonda. Let's go. He's being slightly better gear than Rhonda, but it's going to be fine. I've turned off Rhonda's AoE for the first wave. Okay, so there's hit 1. Let's count them. Count them as we go. It's a good AoE as well. I mean, it's a solid AoE. Here's hit number 2. Again, it's decent. He did not have increased attack there. We didn't have decreased defense or anything out. What was that? So that was hit 3, I think. No, sorry, that was... Oh, he's back with another AoE. Beautiful. Rhonda's finished him off. Let's click the boss. I lost track already. This is the thing. There's no counter. A1. Okay. 67,000 right there. Rhonda's hitting for 40s. So he should be ready. Don't die. Don't die. Okay. He should be ready. Let's actually do this with his A2. He should be ready with his big hit. Here we go. Boom! 500,000. Did you see that? 500. The dude did that. He just did over half his damage in the entire faction crypt in that one hit at the end. And guys, to reiterate, you saw how hard Rhonda was hitting. You saw how hard that just hit, right? You saw how hard that just hit. Here's the thing. He did not even have... That's with no HP burn, right? He does an extra 50% damage on top of that when he's really going. So, yeah, he's kind of crazy. He's kind of crazy. Let's take him into Arena really quick, just for fun. Let's do a couple of Arena. I threw together a bit of a meme team here. We've got... I don't have that many HP burners that are like S tier on my account, but we've got Walking Tomb Dragon, AoE HP burn, can't be resisted. You can place burn on people in Stone Skin. It actually does lots of extra damage to people in Stone Skin. So we're going to boost up. It's a fairly standard, you know, boost up, lock them out. Then we're going to burn them and nuke them. So here we go. We've burned everyone. Let's see how hard Rathalos is going to hit here. Big damage this time. I will tell you right now, he's really not an arena champion. Like, let's go in against this team as well. It's just really hard to get HP burn into an arena team and increase attack. It's not easy. So here we go. We'll actually see the burns. Maybe, actually, we're going to half kill them. Like, he didn't kill the Septimus right there, right? But you can see the Duchess's Stone Skins getting chunked by the burns. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Someone will take a turn. There you go. It does a big chunk of damage. It's kind of hard, I'll say it, to get an arena team with HP burn in there to make the most of his damage. Is it worth using him over just more straightforward nukers? Like, no, I don't think so. Like, Wukong, for instance, is just a lot better. He might actually get over to... Let's see, can we find a tanky team? Can we find a really tanky team? I don't know. We've just had reset. This team is very... Actually, this might get him killed. He might just get block revived against all these Mortus. This looks kind of dodgy, actually. I'm not sure about this one. Like, we lock them out, but... I mean, and like you can see, it's a solid hit, but it's not too crazy. And that is with him in lethal. And like I said, you might not want to do it. Now, you can see the burns have actually ripped off all of the Stone Skins already. 83k with that ignore defense right there. If he had Helm Smasher, he would be doing a good chunk more. There's no question. Don't block revive. Oh god, we're firing off all the AoEs. 45,000. You can see the War Master procs are coming in. Oh, we've not procced the Mortus yet. That's good news. We are surviving for now. He might have... Yeah, I was going to say, he probably has a revive. Bam. It's a good AoE, but I think they didn't have burns on. I'm quite worried. Yeah, there's one block revive. Oh, probably good. They killed Arbiter. I say that's probably good because he might just die from the burns. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, no. Oh, it was so close. I was very close. We almost got there. So yeah, in arena, can he hit hard? Look, at the end of the day, he's a 4.1 AoE. If you put out burns, yeah, it's a 6 times AoE. It is a big AoE, but I don't actually know if you want to put him in lethal. I don't know if you want to give him Helm Smasher to make use of that. Certainly if you're early game, yeah, he's gonna smack an arena. Like, you know, his AoE is gonna smack just as hard as your starter champions. But, you know, is he as good as Wukong? No. Is he as good? Like, yeah, he's not going to hit as hard as the Wukong A2 or like a Baron. He's not going to hit as hard as Jorgid with his passives. So yeah, like he's a solid arena champion. He's totally fine, but it's not really his forte. It's difficult to get burns in to arena. It's difficult as well to get the fights going long enough because he is a squishy champion, really. So yeah. Not his forte. Let me throw in my clan boss key. Oh, too late. It switched over to force. That feels bad. Oh, nuts. I forgot to do that before I start recording. That is sad. We'll keep that. We got a sacred as well. Well, let's wait for it to go below. Let's jump into the main place we want to go. Let's go into Hydra. Let's jump into Brutal first. I've been tinkering with a lot of different team comps, guys. A lot of different ones. So here's what we'll do. I put this together. This is like a Nightmare tester. The problem for this team in Nightmare, it's not a great Nightmare team, but this is just to show him off versus Gnut on Nightmare. So how does his damage compare against the Gnut damage on Nightmare? Gnut, nearly all of you should have him. The best fusion ever. That was halfway through last year or so. Most of you will have him. How does he compare on Nightmare, which is Gnut's best spot, with that enemy max HP? What we've done to make that happen, we've brought in AoE Burn on Attila in Relentless to try and make that consistent. She also is bringing us AoE Hex. We've got a Necmo Thar with Cruelty, and he's going to be bringing in, obviously, he's in a Provoke set. He's going to be bringing us the Speed Control. We've got Gnut and Rathalos. We will have Gnut put the Weaken for more damage as well. Arbiter for revives if we need them, and the increase attack. And then Ugo for AoE decrease defense. Now, there are obviously much better, like if you've got an Ultimate Galek, if you've got a Duchess, right? A lot of stuff opens up. But this is, I will say, probably the biggest problem with him. It is difficult to get, you know, you got to have your decreased defense and you got to have your block buffs in there. You got to have provokes to at least stop this head when the head is going to put out its poison cloud. I guess you could bring in a Mordecai and you could burn past it, but it is just difficult to get everything in. So we can see Gnut's hitting that head right there for almost 400,000. You can see about 200k from Rathalos. He has increased attack, but he doesn't have the burn. So he might have been hitting for around 300k on a single A2 there against this head without Weaken. Now, Weaken will scale his damage up, but this gives you an idea. Here he comes in now. So we're at 2 million. His AoE put us up to 2.9 million. So it is decent. Here on Nightmare, which is going to be the toughest spot for an attack-based champ. He's not going to scale as hard like at max HP. But let's wait. Let's go a little bit further. Let's see what happens when we get to his big thing. So he's got a counter attack in. Okay. Or no, that was just his A1. So that's going to help. We might have a cleanse coming in, unfortunately. Let's see what I think we probably will. We only have one champion provoke. Oh, and he got his buff stolen. This is a slight problem as well. Like, how do we get a mischief tank into this team? It's difficult. And because he's giving himself increased crit damage, he does make himself a target for mischief. So that is a slight problem. Yeah, let's land it. Let's go with this, see if we can land the provoke. We didn't. So I'm actually going to save my moves at this point. Yeah, I'm going to save them. Here we go. Let's see him against a head that is burned. This one has decreased defense. It does not have a weaken. This guy's got decreased defense and weaken. Let's see against this guy. Oh, it was the AoE, of course. So a big enough AoE, not too bad. Right, and let's start going again. Okay, I think we can click auto actually at this point now. We've got our debuffs out. I think he's going to be coming in with... So let's slow it down. I think he's going to be coming in with his extra damage move. So let's do this little bit on manual here. Again, you can see the damage from a Gnut is over 1 million damage in a single hit. Oh, perfect. He resisted the steal. That's exactly what we want to see. He's actually got a bunch of debuffs, which is, again, perfect. That is, once again, exactly what we want to see. Let's put Weaken out on the head of Wrath again. There we go. Don't die. Oh, don't, yeah. Hopefully he doesn't actually straight up die to just the poisons. He's got a heal on. No, he's good. Okay, I think this move is the boosted damage one. Let's see. And there we go. And there we go, guys. So that's a lot of damage right there. So the Gnut A3, so every 4 turns, Gnut, he's doing, you know, he can do up to 1.5 million if you fire it off against Head of Suffering on Nightmare, which is the most it can possibly do. Rathalos, set up properly, just did over 2 million with just his A3. Like I said, his A2 is going to do more, right? His A2 would do more. Right, let's go back on full auto for a little bit. Let's see if we can get him to hit a decapitated head. It's going to be hard, perhaps, to land. Oh, no, we didn't get the decreased defense or anything. Okay, we don't have the burn yet either, and his stuff got stolen. So it is awkward. This is awkward to fully set it up. Yeah, it's tricky to get this stuff in. So, for instance, there, like his A1 landing decreased defense irresistible is actually very handy as well, I have to say. It really is very handy. But like if I had a Sulfurion and a Lady Mikage, I don't have either of those champions. Well, I will get Lady Mikage. I don't have her right now. But if I had either of those, then yeah, that would mix things up for sure. Here, I mean, we could try kill this head. He's actually in a slightly awkward spot. He doesn't have super good heads to try kill. I mean, let's just smack this one a few times. There you go. We actually didn't get a single weak hit. That's quite nice. We'll take it. Weaken is out there. Let's see if we can... Oh, we actually did land the Weaken there. That's nice. Weaken is going to up his damage more if he gets to go. Unfortunately, we don't have the burn out in this head. So we have to imagine the 50% more. But here he goes. Spirit Step Slash, 700,000 against a head. Increase attack on him. Decreased defense, weaken, decapitated head, 700,000. If we imagine that had burn, that's hitting for over 1 million on his A2. And needless to say, if we manage to land his A2 on a head with the 5 times damage, it's decapitated, it's going to be a lot of damage. I'll see if I can line that up, but this gives you a bit of an idea here. So yeah. Luckily we didn't get the Fearhead command. Boom, there's his AoE. I've lost track of where he is in terms of his counter. It's quite obvious when he does do it, he's gonna hit really hard. Unfortunately, again, the Head of Mischief stealing his stuff. But yeah, this gives you a concept. Let me see if I can line it up to land all of his stuff against a decapitated head. Let's see if we can do it. Here we go. I'm gonna turn my face cam off so I'm not making a dumb face because I'm going to go off. I'll be back. I'll be back in a bit when we've done it. Be back. Okay, this is nubkeks from the future. I'm just editing up the video right now. I'm not going to show you that big damage hit right now, but it is coming up. So stay tuned. You are going to see it. It's coming up soon. So I'll see you for that. Okay, I'm actually back. We didn't... I might edit it in, actually. I might edit in the smack against the thing. So we're not going to get it right now. We've hit the awkward spot. We did absolutely like solid work right there going through. What you can see, the key takeaway here is Rathalos, his damage up front requires more setup than a Gnut. You know, he doesn't have the immediacy of the Gnut, but especially when you get to decapitated heads, his damage can really scale through the roof and go just absolutely crazy. I'm curious to see what our final damage is going to be. This is obviously, we're going to try to get to the 1 key for Nightmare. This team really falls apart. Like, can we stop hitting this head, please? Can we do that? Or maybe we were provoked. We might actually just die. It's quite possible. We really got unlucky with the spawns right there. And somehow with both decreased defense and AoE burns, we had 2 heads get the poison up, which is not good. Yes, we do want to kill this head if possible. So we might just get one shot by this guy because he's got increased attack. And yeah, this is actually looking really bad. Yeah, we're definitely going to die. We're going to wipe, unfortunately. We'll see if we can still make it through. Like I said, this team was more to simply showcase. Yeah, it was just really to showcase him. Oh no, Rathalos is going to come out and he's going to get one shot as well. Oh, the humanity. Arbiter. Oh, she's going to die even before Wrath gets a turn. Unless Ugo gets an extra turn and saves us. Nope, she's dead. Oh, we're all dead. Okay, well, let's let him get like 1 final hit in. Or maybe a couple of finals. So yeah, like I said, this team is not quite set up for Nightmare. Problem is, only 1 champion provoke set is not enough reliable control. And there's literally no way to deal with Head of Torment. So yeah, it gets kind of messy kind of quick. Let's let them just ride it out. We'll let them go the whole hog here. Why not? Why not? Bam. They'll get a couple of extra hits. Let's let them have the fun. Actually, let them just target whatever they want. He's missed his turn with Fear. He missed his turn with Fear. One extra Blessed Bash, an extra 1,000,000 damage for the Gnut. We got close to the 1 key. 200k right there. Again, there's no burn or increase attack for the damage. Okay, and like that's gonna be, there's no point in going further. Let's end it here instead of sitting through all of that. But just to put it in context, Gnut just did 7 million, and Rathalos Blademaster, despite being devoured for a chunk of that fight, which Gnut was not. Gnut is in Relentless gear, by the way. All right, Tila, 7 million. Rathalos Blademaster, not only did he do more damage than Gnut, he almost doubled Gnut's damage, which is just insane. It is just crazy. So, yeah, again, this team was set up perfectly to try to show, not a perfect Nightmare team at all, but a team to try to perfectly showcase the strength of Rathalos versus Gnut. It was a short run, but still, it's basically impossible, I think, for me to do a long run with both of these champions at sort of max potential on Nightmare. Like, I just don't have the champs, because Rathalos, that's his biggest downside. He requires so much. He requires burn. He requires increased attack. He really requires decreased defense AoE, and he very much likes the weaken AoE as well, because while that weaken won't really up Gnut's damage, Gnut's gonna damage cap, Rathalos will just scale up and up and up. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And again, just to put it in context, this is so you can see the Gnut's build. Gnut doesn't have super high crit damage, but he's damage capped anyway. But he's 251 speed. So yeah, there's the Gnut, and Gnut's got Giant Slayer, right, with the multi hits. And he's in Relentless. So Relentless Gnut, he's really smashing him, which is crazy. Let's do a budget team as well. I was messing around with some budget options. I thought this would be quite a nice budget option. Again, this one, we've run into the difficulty of it's hard to get all of the stuff in that you want. Yeah, without... So I think one thing we could do, maybe even, you know what, to make it... I think you've got two options here. So what we've got, look, let me just show you what we've got. We've got Lydia. She's budget, but she's not early game, let's say. But just to give you a concept of how strong this can be with a solid Hydra. This one is more solid, and I can show you a couple of adjustments you can make. We've got Rathalos. No one else has a useful aura, so we might as well put him in the lead. We've got Skrank. I think it's a great option. 3-turn cooldown, AoE burn. I think that's great. He also is a good damage dealer, right? He's scaling up his damage with his passive. He can give himself increased attack. He can put weaken. So he's going to work really well in a team with increased attack for Rathalos, which is what we've got with Ursula, who's got AoE decreased attack with an AoE increased attack, and she'll bring us a revive as well in case someone dies. I think that's just, most people like to run revives in Hydra when you're progressing, because it makes it more consistent. We've got Lydia for the decreased defense and weaken, and she brings us increased speed strengthen, so helping us stay alive, and a backup block buffs if we want to manual a little. We've got Ugo. Now Ugo you could replace with like a monkey. You could put monkey in because we don't need the decreased defense. We've got Lydia. Ugo though is in for the leech and for the healing, because we've got like no healing in the team. So that's, you know, that's a slight problem. But you could bring in like a Deliana. You could bring in whatever. You could bring in other champions, is what I'm trying to say. Ugo is not super essential, but I found that the A3 is just nice, because otherwise we don't have any healing whatsoever. We'd be entirely reliant on Masteries. It'd be not the end of the world, but it'd be a bit awkward. Yeah, I guess for the sake of the showcase, you know what? Let's put Monkey in. Let's do it. Let's put Monkey in for the sake of the showcase. Monkey, where is you? There you go. Let's put in the Monkey, and let's have him priority 1 on that. And I messed this up. Priority 2 Staff of Wonder. So again, this Monkey, to put it in context, 6,000 attack, 250 speed, 300 crit damage, lethal. So he is in better lethal gear than Rathalos. Rathalos actually, sorry, he's gone up a bit because of area bonuses. Skrank, I didn't have the gear handy, so I had to get his speed quite high and give him accuracy. So he's missing crit damage, but he will get an extra 25% crit damage from his passive. So he's going to be like 190. He's going to be okay on crit damage, but he is not going to do as much as these other guys. But let's put it in. We've got We've got a bit of a provoke. We've got increased speed, decreased speed. We've got AoE, decreased attack, decreased defense, weaken, AoE burns, AoE block buffs. We've got damage. We've got it all. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Let's see how it goes. Here we go. This is on hard difficulty. I think I put it on hard. So I think I remembered. There's the AoE burn. And Rathalos, he's coming in with the A1, 300k. Again, this isn't... his A1 should basically do the same damage on every difficulty, because it ignores 100% defense. So it should do the same damage on every difficulty. But his other moves are going to hit a lot harder. One thing we don't have in this team is a Hex. That'd be nice. There he goes in with the AoE. You can see it's a big, juicy AoE. It's quite nice. One thing we don't have is Hex. Obviously, putting a cursed set on Monkey would probably... No, not Monkey. Probably on Lydia or Skrank, maybe. Honestly, right, cursed set. No, Vizix probably wants cooldown reduction. It's A1. It's hitting for good enough damage. The boss is going to cleanse here because we only have the one provoker. And we don't have absolutely insane speed control, but there we go. We're going to get the buffs back out, the debuffs back out, excuse me. Rathalos has had his stuff stolen, but Monkey's stolen them right back. Good job, Monkey. We're going to get beat up a good chunk. This is that we've got no healing. There's the AoE. It's hitting decently hard. His increased attack got stolen, unfortunately. I think his next hit is his big AoE. We've had one champion go down. We might lose. Monkey will bring himself back up. Let's see. We've got a decapitation, which is nice. Here we go. I think this is his boosted hit right here. We're not going to get the full benefit of everything, but... Oh, maybe not. Maybe not his boosted hit. I'm not sure. Oh, he didn't have increased attack. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. It was decent, but not too crazy. Let's see. We've got a decapitated head, so let's see if we can line everything up. We need we need Skrank to come back alive. Didn't land the decreased defense. That's a little unlucky. There's the increased attack. And this is another annoying thing as well, right? No decreased defense. Boo, boo, boo. 300k. Not terrible. Again, this A2 is going to be the same on this difficulty as the others. Yeah, another thing that's annoying, the Head of Wrath is quite annoying, because the Head of Wrath... Oh, we're killing heads here. We're killing a few heads. Okay, here we go. Let's target this guy. The Head of Wrath puts decreased attack on you. There's a decent hit, AoE. Head of Wrath puts out decreased attack, so now you need block debuffs, or you need a cleanse. You need something to stop that from locking him down, which is another level of awkwardness, unfortunately. Okay, here we go. 400k. No, here we go. All right, we've got increased attack. We've got the burns. We can provoke this head. He resisted it, I guess. Sure, why not? I know, let's smack this head. Here we go. So Monkey, in context, Monkey's hitting for 900k, which is really good. All right, Skrank. Oh, I should have put weaken maybe on this head. Doesn't really matter. 200k there from Skrank. Let's see. I don't think this is the AoE version. Oh, it is. Oh! 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 Oh my God! And we just one-keyed. No, we just one-keyed hard difficulty Hydra, ladies and gentlemen. We just one-keyed hard difficulty Hydra. There it is. We've done it. There's your budget team, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes. We've got the one key. Oh my God. And we just keep going. Now, this is sort of like when the stars align, right? It's difficult to get that many decapitated heads and to make sure you've got burn and decreased defense weaken and increased attack up on everyone. And he doesn't have decreased attack from Head of Wrath. It's hard to fit that into a Hydra team. It's not super easy, but the more you play and the more champions they add in, they're going to add better champions to combo with this guy. Like Lady Mikage is going to give you an insanely good increased attack in there. Yeah, you've got champions like Sulfurion, who's added recently, that's going to give you a really strong HP burn. Like, there's a lot of options, but like Skrank did real good damage with the thing. You saw that's a Sun Wukong in crazy nuking gear. He's not an amazing Hydra damage dealer. Like Vizix did almost as much as Sun Wukong. Like Sun Wukong, he's fine, but he's not crazy. Rathalos frickin' Blademaster. Holy heck! Holy heck! I think, you know what? I think that covers basically enough for today. What I'm going to be doing, I think that's what we might do in the stream tomorrow, is try to settle in and actually pick a final team, or maybe run a final team through the entire way in Hydra, I think, needless to say, this sums up sort of everything. I know we'll do some more testing to figure out his perfect gear set as well, because that's the question, right? That A2, you just saw how hard that hits. A2 does not need lethal or savage or whatever, so this would be top tier arena gear, right? This would be brilliant for arena, so I could put this on like Rhonda or someone like that, and I could put him into maybe a reflex and have him A1 much less and do these moves all the time. And yeah, he's going to lose damage on these two from not having savage, but for Hydra, it's probably fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. So there's definitely more testing to perfect it. But is this a champion to build immediately and get hype for? The answer is like, oh my God, did you see that hit? Oh my God. Oh, that was beautiful. We'll see. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.